I think, first of all, Tether, really because of this idea of conversion to a more stable currency, right? That's essentially how it's used by lawful actors as well, right? Taking either whether it's Bitcoin or another asset and moving it into something more stable. And Tether is really just that. And when you're talking about Tron, they're looking for places that can process faster, cheaper transactions. So I think you're seeing that sort of confluence right there. But I think when you're talking about terrorist financiers in particular, I was a national security prosecutor for many years at the Department of Justice, and we often used to talk about terrorist financing. Unlike other crimes, you don't need a lot of funds to carry out a terrorist attack. So, when you're talking about, terrorists, you're talking about potentially sending much smaller amount of funds than what we're talking about in the North Korea context, right? Where you're a nation state actor trying to build a weapons program. So I think part of it is just sort of this, hey, we want to take funds and we want to send them in relatively smaller amounts. And that, I think, is why stablecoins, Tether in particular, is very useful in this context.
And who are the users here? Who are the big users of Tether in that regard?
So we've seen examples. Obviously we've seen just recently Israeli authorities seized wallet addresses associated with Hamas. Where Tether was involved. We've seen fundraising from Al Qaeda and ISIS. Potential connections there. So really across the spectrum.